In this video, let us learn about a simple BiCMOS inverter. So Bi stands for bipolar junction transistor, and CMOS, it is a complementary MOS inverter. And you all know what's an inverter. So if input is at logic 0, the output is going to be logic high, and if the input is logic low, then the output is going to be logic high. So then this is called as a BiCMOS inverter because you are having both the CMOS and the BJT together working like an inverter. Now why should we learn about BiCMOS? For this, we have to do a little bit of understanding. We should know about what is the problems with a CMOS and how a BJT, when added to this circuit, is going to help in overcoming that problem. So this is an NMOS inverter. So in the NMOS inverter, you know that the pull up is a depletion type N channel MOSFET and the pull down is enhancement type N channel MOSFET. Now you know the gate and the source terminals are short circuited. That means VGS is equal to 0, which means that the pull up transistor is going to be on all times. So let us see what is the disadvantage of this and how this is overcome in CMOS, and how BiCMOS is better than just the CMOS. Okay. Now when Vin goes logic 0, so what happens? We know that the pull down is off and the pull up is on. So what happens? Current flows from here into the load resistance. So that's how you get the output to be at logical high. Now when the input goes logic high, then what happens? The pull down is going to turn on, and when the pull down is going to turn on, this is already on, this is also on. So there is like a short circuit path between the positive railing and the negative railing. That means it is something similar to short circuiting the positive and negative terminals of your DC power supply. Now this is a serious issue. Why it is a serious issue is because it's as if you're shorting. I told you you're shorting the positive and negative terminal. When you short, there's going to be a heavy current. When there is a heavy current, lot of power will be dissipated. That means lot of heat will be generated. When this heat is generated, we should also know to ward it off. That means this heat has to be immediately removed from the circuit. For this, one solution is the area should be large. So if area is large, the space occupied by this NMOS inverter is going to be large. But we are talking about very large scale integration, wherein we want to make the size of the inverter circuit as small as possible. Now because of this, when input is logical high, both the pull up and pull down are on, the positive railing and the negative railing are short circuited, and there is a lot of heat dissipated here, and this is called as the static power consumption, which makes NMOS a wrong choice for very large scale integration. Of course, it has other disadvantages because it has to be occupying a larger space on the IC chip. So large scale integration is slightly a difficult thing with NMOS inverter. So this problem is definitely overcome in CMOS. So what is the main advantage of CMOS inverter? The main advantage of CMOS inverter is that the static power consumption is very less when compared to the NMOS inverter. Now how is the static power consumption very small in a CMOS converter? So you see that the pull up is an enhancement P channel MOSFET and the pull down is enhancement N channel MOSFET. So we know that when input is 0, logic 0, then what happens? Your pull up is going to be in the on condition, while the pull down is going to be in the off condition. Now let us see the other one. So one of them is off, so there is no short circuit path when the input is logical 0. Now let us see what happens if it is logic 1. When the input is logic 1, the pull up is going to be in the off condition and the pull down is going to be in the on condition. So what do you see here? Unlike the NMOS inverter, when the input logic goes high, both the pull up and pull down are on in an NMOS inverter. But then what do you see here? Under any circumstance, either the input is 0 or the input is 1, one of the transistors are invariably in the off condition. When this happens, there is no chance for a short circuit path under static conditions for current to flow from here to here. So when there is no short circuit part, the amount of heat dissipated in a CMOS inverter is less. When the amount of heat dissipated in a CMOS inverter is less, then the area that it can occupy is less, because you need not give a larger area for the power dissipation to happen or the heat dissipation to happen. And that's why we say that if CMOS inverter is used, large scale integration is a possibility, because it occupies lesser area when compared to NMOS inverter. Why it occupies lesser area on the IC chip? It's because the static power consumption is less. And we also see that the wonderful advantage of the CMOS inverter is that you get a strict high and a strict low, unlike the NMOS inverter. But there is a serious disadvantage with the CMOS inverter, the current driving capability. Now, what is the current driving capability? When your input goes high, this is connected the input of another circuit. It can be another inverter. So there the current has to be large. But then, because you are using a CMOS inverter, the current driving capability is very less. No doubt it provides least static power consumption, but the problem with that is that the current driving capability, the external load, will not be able to draw more current from this inverter. For this BiCMOS inverter is being designed. So now, how a BiCMOS inverter is better than the CMOS inverter? So you are having the CMOS transistors, you have a P channel and an N channel. In addition to that, you are having two BJTs. This is NPN BJTs. So this together is the simple circuit for the BiCMOS inverter. Now, why was this coined? Is because we want least static power consumption, which is an advantage of CMOS, and the main advantage of BJT is that its current driving capability is relatively very good when compared to a MOSFET. So what is it? You know that the base current is small while the collector current is large. How many times large? It is beta times large. So definitely a BJT is capable of sourcing the output current. To combine both these advantages, this new inverter, that is the BiCMOS inverter, is being studied for this purpose. Now let us see how this behaves like an inverter. So students, remember that when your input is low, the output has to be high, and when your input is high, the output has to be low. So that is the operation of an inverter, isn't it? So let us understand how a BiCMOS inverter works. So when Vin is 0, okay, now let us see what happens. When Vin is 0, what is this T4? T4 is a PMOS transistor, so it is going to be in the on state, okay. Now because it is on, so the base of T2 will be getting a positive power supply, so T2 will also be on. So that's what we say, that T2 is a BJT and it is also in the on condition. Now look at the pull down, okay. So when Vin is 0, this is off. So if this is off, which means that there is no, this will also be off, because there is no conduction, there is no voltage that will be available for this. So T1 will also be off. So when Vin is 0, T2 is on, T2 is on, T4 is on, T3 is off, T1 is off. So because this is in the off condition, the output voltage is going to be high. So isn't it valid? So input is 0, the output is going to be high, okay. Now next, let's see when Vin is high. So when Vin is high or in the 5 volts, what happens? So this pull up transistor is going to be in the off condition, okay. Now what about the pull down? Pull down is going to be in the on condition. The N channel enhancement type MOSFET at 5 volts of input is going to be turned on. So when this is turned on, you see the connection here. So because this is on, T1 will be getting a high voltage. Now because T1 is going to be getting a high voltage, the output is going to be less, because this is going to be behaving in the on condition. The output is going to be small, and that output voltage is going to be equal to VBE of this transistor. Now let us see what about T4. T4 is off, so T2 will also be off. So here you are having T3 and T1 which will be in the on condition, and that's how your output is going to be low. for a logical high input. Okay. So you must have